Hello. Today we're going to talk about working with Play-Doh or working with um, Model Magic. If you don't have access to Model Magic, and you can get this at Walmart or Michael's, I did put a recipe for Play-Doh, make your own Play-Doh, on Dojo and on the Machen Art Corner website. And it's very simple ingredients, things you find around the home, like flour and salt. And the recipe tells you how to make it. And you will end up with a bunch. These two were made from one batch of the recipe. I split the recipe in half and left one plain, and the other I dyed the dough with food coloring. So that's just an option you can do. Now, things we can make with this are very simple. It's a matter of rolling them into a ball and starting from there. Now, for my younger students, kindergarten, first, second grade, you can have fun making silly faces. You'll start with a pinch of the dough, roll it into a ball, flatten it into sort of an oval shape for our head, and then we're going to take another little pinch, again with the ball, not too much, and I'm going to roll this into a little bit of a cylinder shape and attach it below for a neck. So now we have a head and neck. Next, you're just going to pinch off little pieces and start attaching them on here for like your eyes, your nose, your eyebrows, and maybe even some crazy hair. And you'll just keep pinching off little pieces and roll them into the shapes that you want. Some finished examples might look like this. Now, these are ones I did with plain, but I painted them afterwards with some watercolor paints. You can still see the oval I started with, the neck, but I added hair, eyebrows, eyes, nose, lips, even some ears. You can make them very silly looking. Change up your hair. Give them a crazy hairdo. Mix and match. Now, another thing you can do with the Play-Doh is make an animal. I always start with the largest part of the animal, which is the body. And I just start with my circle and then roll it back and forth into a cylinder shape. Then I'm going to pinch off 4 pieces about the same. Start with a ball, roll them into a cylinder, for a leg, and then bend one end up for the foot. And you'll just press that into the side of the body, and we already have a leg and on the body. You'll put 2 in the front, 2 in the back. You'll add a tail, a head and a neck, maybe some ears. You can paint the eyes, or you can actually attach eyes, so when they're finished, they might look like this little puppy here. I took some paint and gave him spots, and I turned down his ears so he has little floppy ears. Or you can create a cat. Now, another thing you can do is make like a bowl shape. This could be second, third on up. You're going to start with a base, which is nothing more than a circle, an oval, a rectangle, whatever type of bowl you want to make. Start with your ball in a circle, flatten it out, not too terribly flat, about the size of those little pancakes you can buy. And then you're going to take some more dough, again, roll it into a ball, and then roll it into a cylinder. And you can roll this on a table using your whole hand, back and forth, until you get it to about the size of a pencil. Once you have it rolled out to about a pencil, let me roll this out real quick. And you want to try to get it as smooth as you can. And then you're just going to place it on top of your base and go around your shape. When you come back to where you started, just go on top of it. And you're going to keep building it up and building it up until you either run out of dough or you've created the bowl shape that you want. So when you're finished and you've painted it, it might look like this. You put all sorts of little goodies in there, from coins to collectibles, fun stuff. Or you could take and get really creative, but this takes a little patience. You can start with your base, add one roll of coil, and then add your decorative pieces. This is just a coil rolled up into a spiral shape. And I put 4 of them standing up, and then I put one more coil on top. It makes for a pretty decorative piece. Now you can take the Play-Doh and make an entire scene with it. I took a big area, flattened it out, and then turned it into like an underwater scene. I put another piece for sand, made a little seashell, have some kelp. Now all I need is a fish to go in the center. So I can take my either colored Play-Doh or plain, again, roll it into a cylinder, and I'm going to pinch this end for the front of the fish, pinch this one out into a tail. Now I can have rounded ends or pointy ends. You just pinch it into whatever shape you want. If it needs a top fin, just pinch and pull. Bottom fin, pinch and pull into the shape you want. And there's my fish that could go in my scenery. The last thing I want to show you very quickly is something I've always asked my 5th graders to do, and that's to take your clay, your modeling clay, your Play-Doh, whatever it is you have, and make a miniature piece of food. This could be anything that you eat. You could make a box and put some French fries in it. French fries are nothing more than a cylinder where all 4 sides have been flattened. Here's my cylinder, and then I'm going to tap it, turn it, tap it, turn it until I flatten it into a rectangular prism so that each side is a flat side. And if I make a bunch of these and put them inside the box and paint them, they're going to look like French fries. There are all kinds of food items you can make. Let me show you some finished ones. Everybody's personal favorite, pizza. Okay? Pizza is nothing more than a flattened circle for the bottom, and then you just start adding all your toppings. All different shapes, all different sizes. Here's an easy one. You just take a cylinder, turn it into a pretzel. Then I took little pieces and pretended they were salt and stuck them on top because I do like a salty pretzel. How about a slice of pie? This is like a cherry pie. Look, there's juice dripping down from it. And I even gave it a decorative edge because sometimes pie crusts have decorative edges, or they have little air pockets so that the steam from the fruit cooking can release. And all it was a triangle, a little back piece. I didn't put my top piece on until I filled the inside with a bunch of ball shapes for cherries. The last one I want to show you is a little cupcake with a cherry on top. To get this texture of those little papers that cupcakes come in sometimes, this is done with a fork. And then I took a little tiny piece of the modeling clay or Play-Doh, and I flattened it out super, super thin, draped it over the top so it looks like icing dribbled on. And then I took teeny tiny little pieces to put on there to look like sprinkles on the top. So use your imagination, have fun playing with this. Whether you choose to make your own Play-Doh with the recipe I've posted, or if you choose to use Model Magic to keep your pieces good, you'll need to let them dry, and dry at least a week before you either paint them or seal them. If you want to keep them for a good long time, you'll need to seal them. Now, there's various ways you can do it, but the easiest thing is if you have clear nail polish at home, just brush a coat of that on your finished product, and that will seal it. If you want to turn any of these into some kind of ornament that you could possibly hang on a tree or just hang by ribbon in your room, the easiest thing you can do is to take a paper clip, and probably have a parent do this because it takes a little bit of strength, and wire cutters usually. Cut your paper clip in half so that you have two loops. You will have something that looks, let me make it super thick, but if you can imagine, there's your two loops plus the curved end of the paper clip. You'll want to stick this in the back while it's drying to where only just the loop is showing. That way you can put a hook through it to hang it or some ribbon to hang whatever object you've made. I hope you have fun with this today. I certainly enjoy doing this. If you make this Play-Doh, again, you'll get double what I have in my hand. And if you want to color it, you can just divide it and add the food coloring to it. And to keep it good so you can continue using it for up to 6 months, store it at room temperature, doesn't need to be refrigerated or anything, in a nice sealed tight plastic bag. Now for the summer, just a quick note, for your summer artwork, I put out a drawing challenge. There are, I believe, 30 challenges on a piece of paper with suggestions of things that you could draw and paint or color over the summer. Have fun, be creative, stay safe, be good.